What's shaking YouTube and This is your man TiVo with JB. We are a two-man wrecking crew. JB is under the weather, but he muscled the strength to pull it together. So we're gonna do this, and hopefully things will go relatively smooth.
Smooth as
So
silk, baby.
yeah, we're gonna do our best for you peeps out there, but. As always, today is Thursday, so that means tomorrow is Freestyle Friday. So you know what we got to do, right? We got to drop some
hit it.
freestyle beats, man.
Drop them.
The baddest on the microphone apparatus is here. When I rock a rhyme, often eyes are dropping a tear. It's so beautiful, it's America's landscapes when this man makes lyrics like the syrups that you pour upon your pancakes. My mandate is to grip minds like a handshake. Spit Orlando Lakes and go skinny dip with the fan base. Over any damn breakbeat. I hastily make pastries tastier than anything that Wolfgang makes. So take notes out of suckers, I make coats, lump of some like Bubba Gump fishing on lake boats. I take jokes and turn the comedy into drama. I'm bagging on your mama, I'm Jeffrey Dahmer behind ya. I'm a rhyme writer, lock stock, smoking the ganja. Rebuttals befuddle, leaving a puddle of saliva, sillies. You couldn't handle Randall when I throw my grammar at you. It hit your head and you would think I threw a hammer at you. I point the camera at you like Herb Ritz. Develop it, then use the pictures to pick up bird shits. You're nervous as the impervious wordsmiths hanging out in Rafa's new crib come with the verses.
Oh yeah, JB, check the private chat. So
I did. I got you. So
Cool,
when you
all
got
right.
it, I got.
All right,
good.
this show is brought to our friends over at CovrPrice.com for your price guides, collections, and trends. $6.99 a month. You get all this good stuff. The top 10 that we do every Tuesday, 6 p.m. And this year's Shakers list that we do every Thursday at 6 p.m. Or if you're on podcast, just say, Alexa, play Lords of the Long Wax podcast on Spotify. The show is also sponsored by our friends over at Bird City Comics. Use the discount code of LOTLB to get 15% off anything in the Bird City Comics store. This drops tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Gargoyles with Ivan Tao. This is going to be dope. We gave away a copy last Tuesday, so You go out and get it. Set your alarm because Gargoyles is hot right now. So let's get right to it, boys and girls. This is the Cover Price Shakers of the Week, where we look at the focusing on new sales or the most interesting sales found on their exclusive daily Shakers list. This is change several times every day to make sure you check it out, to review some of the hottest trending books on the market. After this 10 that we go through right here, we're going to see what's shaking today. So make sure you don't go away, as the kids say. All right. First up, we have, that's right, The Adventures of Rex the Wonder Dog from DC 1952. Super Pets movie may have shined a spotlight on Crypto the Super Dog, but he wasn't the first super powered dog in the DC universe. Streak the Wonder Dog first appeared in Green Lantern number 30. Although he didn't have superpowers, possessed that near human level intelligence. 5 years later, the same creators of Streak rebooted the dog as Rex the Wonder Dog. This time, they leveled him up, giving him super soldier serum, similar to Captain America, that gave him super strength, super speed, intelligence, and ability to communicate with humans and other animals. As the popularity of the dog heroes wanted, the adventures of Rex the Wonder Dog came to an end in 1959 when issue 46. That's crazy that it was already at 46 issues in 1959. During this time, Crypto made his appearance in Adventure Comics number 210 in 1955. Rex has made a sparse appearances in the DC universe since 1959, but that didn't stop one collector from dropping $1,020 for a slabbed 4.0 on November 14th. Just goes to show every dog has its day. But
I've never heard of this freaking guy before. This is the first time I've ever seen this book. $1,000 for a 4.0.
Well, I think Ryan has this, if I'm not mistaken. I meant Brian, so if your ears are ringing, it's us. All right, so The Adventures of Rex the Wonder Dog, issue number 1 from 1952. $1,000 for 4.0 seems to be undervalued to me.
Hey, 1952 though, come on.
Yeah, that was the year I was not born. Contrary to popular belief. All right, what do we got up next?
All right, next up, we've got All-Star Western, issue number 11, originally published in 1972. Damn, that was a good year. From DC Comics. Now, we are officially at the dawn of DC speculation. What was once dead now has renewed life, primed with possibilities under the new James Gunn regime at DC. Now, Gunn recently tweeted a picture of Jonah Hex with the text, "Happy 50th anniversary to my favorite Old West, eventually taxidermied outlaw, Jonah Hex." Now, Gunn has proved that he can take the most obscure DC characters and turn them into on-screen favorites. Imagine what he can do with a more popular character like Hex. Unlike other posts, which directly feel like, direct wink and nod, this particular tweet is in no way a confirmation of a possible project. Regardless, this mostly ignored second appearance of Jonah Hex hit an all-time high of $930 for a CGC 9.8. Another book I had no idea. Second appearance of Jonah Hex. I would have never known that.
Yeah, let's hope that, James Gunn, Feige rubbed off on James Gunn and he's able to, pull in a cohesive DCU is what they call it now. Prior to that, it was always the trilogy, right? The triumph of Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman. Mostly Batman, to be honest with you. But, what does that say? Competition, we're still, the more comic book movies we have, the better for both, for DC and Marvel, and hell, even maybe Image and other projects,
But do you really think a character like this is going to translate today? Jonah Hex, a Western?
Bro,
Come on, man.
Anything would be better than a Jonah Hex movie that they made. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of weird books, R.I.P.D. 2 was on Netflix. Did you know that? And it takes place in the Old West. So it just popped up on my Netflix. I was like, oh, let me peep this out. It's a movie. So there you go. All-Star Western number 11 from 1972, $930 and a 9.8. Okay.
Ooh, next up.
All right, next up, we have Batman Adventures Mad Love. Surely people will get on this list, right? Following our post of Jonah Hex, Gunn apparently has big plans for Harley Quinn. Harley's comic content journey has been fascinating when turning from an animated girlfriend henchwoman of the Joker into a DC Comics film A-lister. Both the comics and the films have turned their villain to a lovable anti-hero. Her fan base is massive and will only continue to grow. Her first appearance in the comic via Batman Adventures number 12 is pricey. Her subsequent keys with Batman Harley Quinn, first Harley in DC continuity, and this key, Batman Adventures Mad Love, which featured her origin story outside of DC continuity, which just okay, take that. It's like
for face value.
Yeah, it's like holy cow, that's like 3 different versions. This week there was 2 new sales of $770 and $799 for a CGC 9.8 respectively. That is amazing. Wow.
Right. I just have to admit, I'm getting a flat out education. The first 3 books I've never seen before.
Yeah, I actually know about this book, and I also know about the one of her outside of the DC continuity. I remember I spec'd on that like a long time ago, but we'll see if Margot Robbie returns as Harley Quinn. I think a lot of people like her. I mean, for a while there, man, Harley Quinn was the most cosplay person at a Comic-Con, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, there was. I mean, you couldn't throw.
And Halloween, man, I saw a ton of Harley Quinns at Halloween.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's different versions of her, right? That you can do, but hopefully they bring in Punchline if they bring in Batman or Harley Quinn. I'm specking on her. That
you like Punchline, huh? She's something else. That's a character.
Yeah. She's a lot more wicked than Harley Quinn. Let's just say that. She's all right. This is a very interesting book to me. Like, I would never expect this to be in the Shakers list, but what do we got for the next one?
I cannot believe this is on this list. I know you people out there have this book. Next up on the Shakers list, we've got Classic X-Men issue number 1. Originally published in 1986. Now, for decades, no collector liked reprints as a collector's item. They were intended for fans to catch up on the stories featured in hard-to-find early X-Men issues. Well, the first volume of this series features popular X-Men issues. The first issue specifically reprints giant-size X-Men 1, but integrated with 20 new pages. When you see how valuable Giant Size X-Men 1 is, this week's new high sale of $500 for a CGC 9.8 makes sense for X-Men collectors who may wish to own any version of that key issue. Now, it doesn't hurt that this also features a killer Art Adams cover with all the popular 1980s X-Men together. I can't believe this is on this list, TiVo.
Yeah, it shocked me, to be honest with you. I meant, so was it yesterday or the day before? Whenever comic book movies show up on broadcast TV, I just watch it just for the hell of it. And I watched New Mutants again. I was like, it's not as bad as it was, when I think about it. First of all, Magic was badass.
She was badass, but that was the only thing that was good in that movie.
Well, that's true.
That was the only good thing in that movie.
It's not nearly as bad as people make it out to be. Like, when I did my Black Panther Wakanda Forever review, I was talking about how certain bars are set for whatever, what I'm saying. Fair or not, Marvel, they set the bar really high for that. DC, they set the bar to just give us the movie, right? And then the Fox franchise was like, just give us mutants and X-Men, So it was, it's so classic X-Men, man.
Classic freaking X-Men on the Shakers list? Come on, man.
Yeah, 500 bones. Wow, that's amazing. All right, so we go from classic X-Men number 1 direct edition, 1986. The highest known value is a 9.8 for 500 bones. This one is definitely an offer. Are you ready for this one? Okay. This is Paquito. I want to say that right. Number 255, the editorial Juventud. I can't even say that word, man. Last week, we saw a huge Heritage International auction sale with growing interest in the collector market for many key foreign editions that hit new sales during the auction. Paquito number 255, published in 838, by the editorial Juventud in Mexico, was the highest selling book of the auction, fetching $6,600, including the buyer's premium, which makes this book special in that the black cover features page 3 of Action Comics 11 editorial, Juma did something very special in 1938 in printing 12 single copies or 12 single pages of Action Comics #1. So there you go. You got your
Okay,
kind of
wait a
first
minute,
print.
wait a minute. So this is reprinting Action Comics #1?
Yeah, because it just 1938. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, so it only showed 11 pages, so it was only the cover, and it was on the back pages. Although these are single pages, the editorial Juventud, I'm probably butchering that name, is Juventud, were the first to publish anything corresponding to Action Comics #1 internationally. So there you go. This was a major sale and a great investment for the price of Action Comics #1, and eventually just pieces of the book continue to rise in value. These pages are beyond scarce and will never reach the census numbers in the U.S. that the U.S. editions has. For many hardcore Superman fans, there are something you definitely want to keep out on the radar.
Wow.
So you learn something every day on the Shaker Show. So
Yeah, that's
basically,
incredible knowledge.
the first international publication of Superman, even though it's even though it's a reprint, they took 11 pages of Action Comics #1. It's amazing that it was in Mexico in 1938, which but like I would say post-pandemic or during the pandemic, foreign comics have really taken a jump, a spike. Italian editions, there's French editions, there's obviously Mexican editions, there's certain comics that they're just hard to get because they weren't here. But now with the advent of international sales, you can buy it, or even if it goes up at auction. So that is pretty darn cool, man, if you can muster up $6,600. So
yeah, right.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we're halfway through, boys and girls, and I
Halfway
need a break because I'm this is the first time I've read notes in quite a long time. I need to take a sip of my Courvoisier. So let's hear from our sponsor, My Slabs. You tired of paying 10, 15, 20%? Join the 1% revolution.
The platform designed by collectors for collectors just got even better. MySlabs.com is proud to now feature dedicated sections for both raw cards and raw comic books. Browse over 100,000 slab collectibles, authenticated by the industry's most trusted grading companies. Then check out a massive selection of sealed wax and now raw singles and raw lots. Join a passionate, no-nonsense community of nearly 50,000 members and enjoy some of the best buyer and seller protection in the business. And as always, My Slabs offers one of the most disruptive pricing models in the hobby, with seller fees as low as only 1%. So the next time you're forced to pay 10%, 20%, or more to sell something from your collection, head over to MySlabs.com, the low-fee marketplace, by collectors, for collectors.
Yeah, somebody said that it's Portuguese, but maybe not. Let me since we're live, fuck it, we'll do it live.
Do it live. What are you looking it up on Google?
Yeah, so
you are, aren't you? By the way, this is a perfect time for us to just mention we've got 100+ people in the chat. If you are enjoying the show, please take a moment to hit the thumbs up. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us every Thursday on the Shaker Show, and wait till you see the last 5 books on today's list. And remember, don't take off. We're going to go check out the actual today's Shakers list. It changes every single day, so we're going to see what's on that list after the show.
Yeah, I think they think it's Portuguese because there's a soccer league called Juventus, something like that. But it's Spanish and Portuguese are interesting because in Spanish the J is silent, but in Portuguese, like if I were to say Jose, they say Jose. Like, you know what I mean? It's most like my girlfriend speaks fluent Spanish, but she can understand Portuguese for the most part. That's why this weird thing about Brazil is like it's the only country in South America, well, probably, that speaks Portuguese as their language, right? I mean, you can argue Argentinians speak Italian, but it's just Spanish with an Italian twang to it. So, but yeah, Juventus is a Portuguese soccer league. For maybe that's why they think that. But if you Google it, it's worth the Google, as they said in the campaign. All right, Paquito is definitely a Mexican word or Spanish word. All right. So let's get what do we got up next?
All right, number 6 on our list today, we've got Silver Streak Comics, issue number 22, originally published in 1946 from Lev Gleason. Now, this book was the final book before the somewhat infamous Lev Gleason moved toward a more horrific style of storytelling. Now, crime doesn't pay captured readers, leading to numerous imitators and a large fan base. This led to increased attention from the man, and in an effort to avoid external regulation, Gleason helped form the ACMP. Now, many mark that as the first step in the implementation of the CCA in 1954. The point is, this book has a bunch of history behind it, while also sporting Silver Streak, the second comic speedster to ever exist in comics. Now, Golden Age books are in demand, and with this much going on for it, one fan felt the need to initiate the acquisition and fork out a whopping $1,430 for a reported raw 3.5 grade book. Now, that happens to be the highest reported raw grade we've seen, with the last sale coming in at a 2.0 for $990.
Bro, that's way undervalued, I think. But the second speedster in comics, go figure, right?
The second speedster.
Wow, look at that. We'll ever see if we ever see the Flash. All right. Silver Streak Comics number 22 from Lev Gleason, February 1st, 1940. If you can get a book from the 40s for $1,430 in a VG, I mean, that to me is,
from 1946 to be in that range, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, especially like, this kind of not part of the big two DC or timely at the time.
Yeah, I wonder what the paper quality was like on it, right?
Yeah. Well, post World War II. So I mean, that's why during like World War II, those books, the page quality, because everybody had to sacrifice for the ongoing war effort. But 1946, maybe the paper quality started getting better. So we shall see. I think here's a chance to get on the board. Maybe because it looks familiar, but the deets are a bit different. Excuse me, I got a burp. All right. Something is killing the children. The American Library Association limited to 1,000, so maybe not. Amongst the many valuable variants of this massively successful James Tynion, the 4th series, the most valuable, albeit rarest in terms of availability, is this American Library Association, or ALA, edition of the first issue. In 2020, LA Midwinter Conference and Exhibition, this promotional edition of Something's Killing Children was handed out to audience attendees. The book is identical to the standard cover, except it's identical to the standard except for the back cover, which features Boom's national marketing and publicity campaign for its title. This campaign schedule really highlights how much support Boom put behind this title. This week we saw a CGC 944 sell for $2,800, which is only $250 away from the highest sale ever, $3,050 for a 9.8 for this time last year. Keep in mind, while the print run was mostly modest, most attendees were not diehard comic book fans. So you know what I'm saying? You go to a conference, they hand them out, they're like, yeah, I'll just give them my kid or shove my back pocket or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the print run. Hence, it's safe to assume that many copies were tossed, or left behind, or simply forgotten. Hence, copies were few and far between, and most likely in a non-near mint condition. So yeah, a little bit of both, right? You have scarcity, 1,000 print run, and then you have it given to people who aren't necessarily people who are comic book collectors. You know what I mean? So you get a hold of.
I mean, there's got to be some percentage of these that were literally rolled up and stuck in your back pocket.
Yeah, or they just take this and do it. It's like those comic books they give you at the movie theaters, right? When you're, when I still have a Venom comic that I got at the movies, and it was funny because I was like, they gave me one. I was like, can I have a few more? And the person didn't even care, so he handed me a stack, and I actually looked through them.
Did you really? Like, no, this one's got a couple spine ticks.
I was like, I need to make sure that there's no spine ticks or anything like that.
He looked at you and said, "What?"
Yeah, the last time this happened was when me and Darkside Jedi went to the Warner Brothers studio tour, and they had a Wonder Woman variant that was only available at the Warner Brothers Studios tour. And me and Ryan were like trying to get as many copies as we can. And we're like, man, these are all beat to shit, man.
They
You
were
know,
all
we're trying.
beat to hell.
Yeah, they were beat to hell. So something is, man. Remember this book was all over our top 10. I want to say a couple of years
I mean,
ago.
I think it was hot all the way up until issue 10, 11, 12.
Yeah. Yeah, the one variant with the chick wearing the mask, I'm trying to forgot who did that variant, but that one was just on the Shakers week last week. So, all right, what do we got up next?
All right, up next
Oh,
we've
that's
got
gorgeous.
Spider-Man Black Cat Strikes issue number 2, the Nakayama variant. I mean, this thing was just published in 2020. Now, David Nakayama has become a fan favorite in the industry, and he has built quite the dedicated fan base. His covers are striking and eye-catching, and collectors are buying. A few of these covers are demanding higher prices as they continue to be harder to find for collectors. One such cover is this excellent iteration of Black Cat. This variant was released around the time the variant community started paying close attention to his work, sending previous variants to new heights. Dr. Aphra number 1, the Neff box exclusive, Age of X-Men, Apocalypse, and the X-Tracks number 1, the 1 in 50, and Tarot number 1, the 1 in 50. This week saw a new high sale of this book for $600 for a CGC 9.8. Now, raw copies in near mint are still available for under $150. So if you happen to find one that has potential to grade high, it may not be a bad idea to pick it up for grading.
Very interesting indeed. Yeah, I mean, people love drawing Black Cat or Black Cat just like they like drawing Catwoman. You know what I'm saying? Like, the artists just like to draw that womanly figure. So, Spider-Man: The Black Cat Strikes, issue number 2, the David Nakayama variant from 2020, $600 for 9.8. It just goes to show you, I mean, even now, I mean, you know, before you could wait 2 years and a variant would drop in price, but you know, it's just there's just a lot more people in the hobby, in the community. There's a lot more people doing videos and the I word and all this other crap. So, you know, it's exhausting, but you know, more power to you. So, what do we got up next? Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
Did I read? Yeah, I read the last one. Did I? Yeah, I did.
I
So
just did Spider-Man Black
yeah,
Cat
so
Strikes. Yeah, you too.
yeah, so it's me. So, great. I get to do Star Trek. As we previously noted when covering this book, Star Trek, since its inception, has remained the pinnacle of sci-fi fare. A diehard fan base is living well. The new iterations, reboots, offshoots coming out every few years. Recently, Star Trek #1 has hit an all-time high sales month after month, culminating in the first 9.6 sale that we've seen in 3 years, with massive new sales of $45,600. This obliterates the last 9.6 sale in 2019, excuse me, for $20,000, which still seems like a lot. And an outsell is the only 9.8 sales back in 2005 at $40,000. Keep in mind that while these books bear the name of the iconic TV show and later films, they diverge slightly to the wildly as they separate entities from the show. Still, the first appearance of Star Trek and its various 60s cast of characters, with the recent success of Star Trek series on Paramount Plus, interest is quickly gaining in this undervalued issue. I just watch, like I said, when shit comes up on TV randomly, I think I watch it. And so I watched Star Trek: The Motion Picture again, and I just toward the end of it. Spoiler alert: Voyager was the Voyager probe, right? It's really
spoiler alert. Get out
exactly.
of here with that.
If you haven't seen Star Trek: The Motion Picture, I remember seeing it as a kid, right? Because you know,
I was so disappointed when I saw that as a kid, man. I was like, this is so boring.
Well, Star Trek TV show, I've never liked. People are going to hate on me. I always thought it was too, but it's very scientific. So what's interesting is the consultants for Star Trek: The Motion Picture, when I was reading through credits, was Isaac Asimov and Gene Roddenberry. So Isaac Asimov obviously is, the scientist of space, some deep shit. You know what I'm saying? He's the equivalent of our generation's Neil Tyson DeGrassi, whatever his name is. But it was interesting to find out that he was part of it. You know what I'm saying? But it's pretty wild, the story of there's a the Voyager probe became sentient and was giving out a signal. Yeah, it was giving out a signal. And then some really weird stuff. And I will say this to this day, that bald chick is hot. That was in Star Trek. Hot. Oh yeah, she was hot, man. And I think no, was it Kirsten Alley in it? No. I'm thinking
that was later.
Yeah, that's the Wrath of Khan.
Wrath of Khan, yeah.
Yeah. That's when they had the more Caillou whatever test. I'm sorry, I'm not a
dude. The Wrath of Khan was awesome because you got to see him fight. You know, there was a space fight with the.
You got to see Ricardo Montalban with his rich Corinthian leather. So Charles Stark #1 from Western Comics in 1967, $45,000 and a 9.6. There's Star Wars is a big fan base, but Star Trek is right behind it as far as Trekkers. I don't like to be called Trekkies, which I found out in Fanboys. So apparently Trekkers really, they really stick with it. But here's my main issue with like Star Trek for what it is it's like cool sci-fi, but like Star Wars to me is like sci-fi as well as like fantasy, like the Force and magical power, things like that. And you know what always really kind of got me was if you put up Star Wars against Star Trek, man, you would just have a ton of like X-Wing fighters or TIE fighters just blow the shit up out of the
Enterprise, right?
Because they never showed.
They didn't have like individual. You know what made Battlestar Galactica so cool was those individual fighters shooting out the tubes and having the Cylons fight each other. Those space battles were bomb, and that's what Star Trek was missing.
Yeah, how can you have a giant spaceship but not have supporting aircraft, right? It just doesn't make sense. But, the USS Enterprise was so iconic, they actually named a freaking aircraft carrier after it. You remember that? All right, so Star Trek #1. And this next one, I think a lot of you may have. At least I think so, because I've seen this on a lot of people's feeds.
I have seen this a lot on Instagram in the last 2 weeks, man. All right, the final shaker on today's list, we've got Wolverine issue #1, the J. Scott Campbell Deadpool variant, originally published in 2010. Now, whoa there, Wolverine and Deadpool aren't done making waves yet. For several weeks, Wolverine and Deadpool books were hitting new heights in both movement and sale prices. While some books have cooled down, we're still seeing new high sales, including this one. Recently, this holy grail of a modern key sold for an astounding $17,100 for a CGC 9.8. That's an incredible jump from its previous record high of $10,000 in August of last year. And a premium is tacked on for the 9.8 crowd of books, as with most rare books, whereas a 9.6, it would only set you back about $3,500 or so. Now, fans are willing to drop that kind of money when a rare premium book such as this makes its way to the market. They just do not sell that often. As the method Marvel distributed these variants brought along many headaches. Now, everyone has a price. And with Deadpool 3 a sure deal and Wolverine making an appearance, a new record high may still be in this book's future.
Yeah, so this is purely on spec that, Wolverine and Deadpool are going to appear together. So we'll see when that announcement happens, because expect them to even go more. But this is from 2010 for $17,000. And I would say this is not an easy 9.8 to get, an all black cover. You know what I mean? But in 2010, people were slabbing a lot of stuff. So I'm pretty sure, people were full aware of, spine ticks and whatever that you're looking for. So they were picking out books, but $17,000, holy cow. So, all right, we need to take a breather and we're going to see what's shaking the day, boys and girls. So we'll freshen up my drink, and you know what you're going to get. Where is it?
Oh, we're going to get a little interlude here while we work on that seamless transition. Get ourselves a little something for the throat here, a little drink, a little cocktail. And hey, remind everybody that we're here Tuesdays and Thursdays sharing that cover price knowledge. And if you're enjoying the show, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up.
All right. Well, I can't find it. So you know what you get? You'll get this.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Whoa, whoa,
Rock on,
I
baby.
don't know if I've ever seen that one, TiVo.
Oh yeah, they're dope, man. They take like 90s, like, you know, those compilation albums. This is the 90s, or you know what I'm saying, in the club. So let's go. Seamless transition into Cover
Seamless.
Price. Let's see what's shaking today, boys and girls. This is the top 10. Dominated. We've got some Lobo stuff on there. Wolverine. These are the most units sold. Look at Batman. Sold 22. Spawn. Always on there. For always. But we're here to see what's shaking today, boys and girls. Today's
Ooh, 2 in the
shakers.
top. Wow.
Yeah, but look at those other ones. Raw Dog X-Men #1 sold for 6,300 bones. Another X-Men Man book. This is the first appearance of Juggernaut, I do believe. Yeah, this is the first appearance of the Fantasticar, I do believe.
Nice.
My 2 Ultimate Fallouts. Thank you very much.
Nice.
My Fantasy 448 is actually a 7.5, I want to say. Yeah, but we like to look at the weird shit, so let's go down and see what's going on here. Where we go.
That's weird.
I love this. Look at that. Good girl pinup art.
Pieta. Right?
Wonder-
If the girl's laying in his arms, or does she have to be passed out?
I think she has to be passed out.
She's got to be passed out, like a death scene. Okay, all right. I always get that confused.
So Wonder Comics issue number 44, 1947, CBCS 5.5 for $1,200. Let me see. Let's look at the other covers, because these are all gorgeous pinup covers. Look at that. There you go. That's definitely good girl art.
Definitely.
Why is she wearing a bikini? Anyway, we're not bothered by it.
They're in space, man.
Exactly. It'd be kind of cold. Here we go. Bondage. For you freaks out there, the freaks come out at night. So Wonder Comics issue number 44. This is classic Steve Ditko right here. Look at that. Amazing Spider-Man number 33.
That is a great read, by the way. You got to read that book.
His whole inner monologue on how he has to come through, and it was shown during the first Spider-Man film with Tom Holland, where he's kind of questioning himself, and he has to muster strength to lift that thing off him. And it's literally almost taken page panel by panel for this in this book. If you haven't had a chance to read it, it is so dope. Highest known value $9,700 and 9.8, but recently a 9.0 sold for $860. So I think you got some good value there for your Bonards, man. Oh, I have this too. Darth Vader.
First Dr. Aphra, BT1 and 000.
Yep. Dr. Doom. This is an interesting book.
Now, explain that book. Can you pull that book up real quick? This is first solo title. Slide down. What does it read for key?
Origin of Victor Von Doom, first appearance of Valeria, love interest of Doom, and namesake of Reed and Sue Richards' daughter. There you go.
I know it's a big book. I see it out there all the time, and I always just kind of
Yeah.
assumed it was first in his title, first solo title. But
Yeah,
it's key.
another one of those black covers too that are pain in the ass. But you know what we love bringing up? We love EC horror or pre-code horror. Look at this bad boy, Walter Horror number 27. Good Lord, there's a lot going on there, featuring the
There's
Vault
a lot
Keeper,
going on.
the Old Witch, and the Crypt Keeper. Wow, digging that, man. $600 for a 6.0. Highest known value $1,400 and 9.4. I'm telling you, pre-code horror is at a premium right now. Whoa, there you go. That's our generation right here, man. If for those who remember,
I remember Dragon's Lair, great game.
Yeah, it was basically like a cartoon that you would just move.
It was a decision game, left, right, up, down.
Exactly. Yeah. Don Bluth presents Dragon Lair #1 from CrossGen Comics. This came out in 2003. 625 for 9.8.
It didn't say first appearance or anything, though, did it? I wonder if it's first appearance.
No, because it came out in 2003. It had to have been something else. Somebody in the live chat look it up, and I bet you it was. But this is ripe for a reboot, I think. Dragon's Lair. We got Willow is coming out. First reactions of Willow came out already. For who is on, they say it's great. So I can't wait to see it. It drops on I think December 1st for on Disney Plus for Willow. Also, I don't know if you guys. All right, here's where I give you my recommendations for shows to watch. Warrior Nun season 2 is badass. It's better than season 1, and it doesn't have Warrior Nun Ariella, but it has the other characters. Not Shotgun Mary is not there, but it is still badass. You got nuns kicking ass, and it's very kind of deep in some stuff. And also on Amazon Prime is a show called The Peripheral with the girl from Kick-Ass, the young girl. It is a great series. It's a mix of Ready Player One and Westworld. If you can kind of put that and wrap your head around that. That's what I got from it. So it's pretty great. It takes place in the not too distant future. It takes place in different timelines. I don't want to give it away, but it's worth a watch. I think and it's on Amazon Prime, so it's not, you can't stream everything at once. So I think matter of fact, new episode drop tomorrow. Yeah, so check it out. Also check out.
Hey, wait a minute, go back. Don't leave that row yet, because I want to talk about a couple of books on there. One is that Hulk 102. No, next row down. I think that is an undervalued book, first in his own title, and then the X-Men 94. I say this every time it comes up, but when I was a kid, that was the book you wanted. It wasn't Giant Size X-Men 1 because this was in continuity. This was the first team in the real X-Men title. It wasn't a gimmick book. When I was a kid, Giant Size X-Men 1 was a gimmick book. You needed this one, but
it was wild. Yeah, it was wild. So 625 or 580 for 6.5. Wow. First appearance of a new team title, second appearances of Colossus, Nightcrawler, Storm, Thunderbird, and third appearance of Wolverine for those who are keeping track. Highest known value 9.8 for $66,000. Now that is a lot of money. That is a lot. Speaking of killing children.
So are you ever going to sell your Silver Surfer 4?
No. He's one of my 3 favorite characters. So it's Thor, Silver Surfer, and Doctor Strange. So I don't know.
That hits 2 of your 3 favorite characters on the cover. Come on.
Yeah. So I have the first appearance of Silver Surfer, and then I have Silver Surfer 1 through 4 all slabbed. I also have Silver Surfer Fantasy 449 slabbed as well. So those are those were my grails. Look at that boobage. What the hell is this?
What is that?
Motor City Comics #2. Jeez, from Rip Off Press, 1970. This is the height of I guess you can call
Independent
alternative
bootleg
comics, or
comics?
yeah, Robert Crumb and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
1970. So yeah, look at that. There's a lot of stuff going on there. There's some hippies. I think I don't know what she's eating. She's smoking weed or something. That is a
Oh
lot
yeah,
going on there.
they got the lines on the coffee table and everything. Damn.
Oh yeah, cops coming in, busting in the party. Let me see what it says. Lenora Goldberg and her girl commandos. There you go. Motor City Comics, man. Good luck finding that.
Yeah, right.
Oh, don't know what. This is a great read if you ever read The Goon. Look at that. Love the color. Eric Powell.
Never read.
This one, yeah, it's an interesting story. At one point it was optioned and then it never got made. So first Goon solo series, arguably first full appearance of the Goon, contains a 4-page Goon story reprinted from Dreamwalker #1. What else Dreamwalker is? Shout out to our friend Mikey Sutton and Second Skin Comics, whose Dreamwalker comic hits pretty soon, #3, and the artist is giving out sketches of yours truly, Tavo. I am called Tavo the Dream Master. I actually appear in
You're a
the
witch.
comic as an evil sorcerer.
Oh, they call it a sorcerer? Oh, I thought it was a witch.
No, there's also a chick called the Witch. Yeah. So Dreamwalker is a comic about a Filipino girl who can go into people's dreams and nightmares. So make sure you check out Second Skin Comics. I can't tell you any more on that, but I think it's gonna be possibly some news dropping sooner than later. I'm just saying. Look at this. What the fuck is this? Good
What is
Lord have
that?
mercy. It's like somebody published this as himself. This is is this Eric Larson's first work?
Is it?
I don't know, but it's 1983.
Dude, I drew that in high school, man. During
I know, right? Graphic Fantasy
TV.
#3 from Ajax Comics. It's got to be some of Eric Larson's really early work, but a raw VF $400. That's the only one that sold. Jeez, wow, good luck finding that, man. Good old Mephisto. Eventually, he's going to show up, right, Mephisto?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, what do you think of that character they spec for him? That guy's funny. He'd play him really well. I think he'd play him well.
Always love these RG comics. They're full of innuendo, but this one is Pep Comics. Mr. Cooper, will you please tell Betty it's time for me to go home? There's a night from Archie Comics from 65 to 1948. Wow, look at that. 3,000 for it is the highest known value, sold a few months ago for 9.2, 4.0 for 395. Won't you look at that? Molten Man. God, do you remember when this book was, people were specking on this for all the wrong reasons, because of Spider-Man?
Because of a trailer. Yeah. For the Spider-Man.
They end up being elementals. So Shuri, of course, is hot. But look at this. We're all about this. Murder Incorporated, issue #1. For adults only. Living proof that crime never pays. Look at that. That's a bad girl right there. Straight up shot that fool in the chest.
That red dress is hot, though.
Murder Incorporated from 1948. $350 for a 3.5. 5.5 for only $440. Wow. That's not a bad deal at all. Oh, this is a dope cover. Like this. Raging Red Hole. Marco Djurjevic, 1 in 20.
Is that how you say it?
That's how I say it. Djurjevic. Until somebody could, first appearance of the Red Hulk.
This is #2?
This is #2. Yeah, this is the first appearance of the Red Hulk in story. First appearance of A-Bomb. One of the
because he's on the cover at #1, but he's not in the story.
This is the one that I normally see a lot of, is the Iron Man or Shellhead cover. This is the one I see probably most often that people have. Good old Darkhawk.
What's up with 72 is a hot book. I got it right here, as a matter of fact.
Which one?
72. Fantastic Four 72 with the Silver Surfer. That's got to be the best Surfer cover for a Fantastic Four book.
I think it's just an iconic cover. I don't think there's any first appearances on it.
What was the price on that? How much did it go? I got a 3.5. And it's for sale.
6.5, 325 and a 6.5, 25 grand and a 9.8. Good Lord have mercy. But I do believe this is Kirby at his goodness. You see the Kirby
With the crackle, the Kirby crackle.
The Kirby crackle. If you didn't know, now you know. All right. Thanks for hanging out with us, boys and girls. We had to trudge through it. Shout out to my man JB. He was sick, but he pulled through with liquor and whatever else he has in his system right now. So don't forget JB, any last words?
Follow me on Instagram. Seriously, there's 100 people in here and you guys are not following me on Instagram. It's Discovery Bay Comics, one word. Follow me on Instagram. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
and I'll see you next week.
Thursday
Shaker Show. Hit the thumbs up on your way out.
Jajurvik. Thank you, James Kreider. I was close enough, man. So, hey, make sure you guys check out our friends over at Bird City Comics tomorrow. Discount code to do LOTLB to get 15% off anything in the Bird City Comics. And this bad boy drops tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. This is going to be a hot one. I have a feeling. So, use this code. Until then, boys and girls, we will see you guys on Tuesday unless something else happens, but I doubt it. I am exhausted from YouTube. So as of now, we are still having our Black Friday sale. So set your calendars. So we're gonna have a Black Friday auction and sale. That would be next. The fuck is Thanksgiving? 24th.
Next Thursday, man. A week from now.
Is that Thursday or Friday?
I'm selling this next Friday. Come by and check it out.
Well, Black Friday doesn't fall on Friday. Wait, it has to.
Yeah, no, it's Thursday. So Thanksgiving's on Thursday. So Friday. The day
okay.
So
I'm tripping.
Come on, man. I'm the one who's sick.
All right, guys. All right, keep digging in on long boxes and peace out. We'll see you guys soon. Laters.
Shake and make it, pull it back.
The world's three greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
Now that's a name I've not heard.
Know that the Lord is
Shake and bake and pull it back.
In this you shall know that the Lord is In this you shall know that the Lord is
Hold on and get some, boys. Jack, here's the deal. I'm the best there is.
In this you shall know that the Lord is
What's in the box?